Okay, hello everybody. There we go. Welcome to Spirit Coaching Astrology. I am your Western tropical astrologer, Priscilla, and this reading is for Aries rising, sun and moon too. And this is from the perspective of the rising sign, and I do use the whole house system. Um, if this does not resonate, please check your other placements, your moon and your sun on this channel, and to see if that resonated a little bit better for you than this one. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at my website at spiritcoachingastrology.com. The link to my website is in the description box below. And please do have your time of birth if you decide to do a personal reading so that your reading is accurate as it can be. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and begin. Aries rising. For you, give me a second, you guys. I'm going to pause this screen real quick. Let me see how I do that. Because I, excuse me, have a phone that won't stop dinging. It's annoying. Okay, you guys should be able to see me. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, sorry about the delay in the beginning of the video. My son plugged up his phone and I have an old iHome phone charger thing. And if you don't sit it on there right, it just dings and dings and dings. It's so irritating. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and begin. Aries rising. So you guys have had your childhood wound warrior in your asteroid in your first house for a while. So you guys have been feeling all types of profound things on a personal level in regards to your it's in 8 degrees, so it has to do with your psychological trauma that was maybe hidden from you, and they were showing up on your day-to-day world for the last 2 years now. You've been dealing with a whole revamp of like just your personality. You've been probably going back and forth between how you used to be versus who you're trying to be. There's just a lot of transformations happening for you, and you've been feeling these wounds very, very profoundly. And they've been showing up a lot for you on your day-to-day life with other people. Because this is your 7th house across from where Chiron is in your 1st house. So this is reflective in with how the asteroid is showing up for others, with the people that you're dealing with on a one-on-one level. Okay. And this has been probably a bit frustrating for you, Aries, sun, moon, and rising, especially Aries rising, because who wants to go through having to figure out that a lot of the things that we are afraid of, or that we put a wall up for, or whatever, is ultimately not really serving us. Okay, so this is kind of the realization that you're coming into, that maybe some of the things that you were afraid of, or some of the walls that you put up, are just only making things harder for you. Okay, they're blocking your blessings, they're blocking your maturation here. And I think you're understanding that it's time to heal from these things from the past, because they're just limiting you, while you carry them as a I don't want to say a badge of honor, but like as a protective measure. It's time to let go of how you do those, how you wear your trauma, because it fundamentally in 2022, you can't bring that with you. This year is all about prospering. It's all about healing. It's all about moving and leveling up in life, not just on a physical, but on a very spiritual level. The energies that we've been feeling since I want to say since 2012, has really been about really molding us and purging us on a spiritual level. It has nothing to do with the physical, but we are seeing it reflective on a physical scale, because the earth also on a spiritual level is purging. It wants to, Mother Gaia wants to purge. It wants to take out what is harmful, what is causing the earth to shift, what is causing us, humanity on a collective, to have so much stress, and we're we're seeing so much chaos on Earth, with Uranus sitting in Taurus, which is the physical Earth, and unpredictability, and not just on a Earth 3D level, but on a spiritual level too, with humanity. So we are all being asked to leave things behind that no longer serve us, heal from them, and level up. And that's just for all of us on a collective scale. And Aries, you're feeling it a lot because you are the first sign of the zodiac. You are the child. You are the infant of I don't want to say child. You are the infant of the wheel of the energy. So, you have this joy like energy, this very innocent like energy. But it's also a very naive type of energy. So, and being that it's Mars is your ruler, Mars can be really angry or just it's always ready for action and arguments and things of that nature. So this is not to say you're an argumentative person or that you're an angry person. It's just to say that change is sometimes comes with pain for a lot of us, and Aries has a hard time with accepting this because it is that infant energy. It's naive. It does not understand why it has to have pain, to have pleasure, or pain to have goals, or pain for to achieve anything. You're just like, why? So, ask your sister sign, and I say your sister sign, not your cross house sign, Libra, your sister sign, Scorpio, because they know all about the deep pains. They'll explain it for you a little bit more. But anyway, so Aries rising, you have Uranus in retrograde in your second house. So your money has your finance, your world, the way that you feel structured with, financial endeavors, your tangible physical money and your material realm has been so disruptive in the last 2-3 years that you are probably up to here with it. But there will be some clarity now. So I hope that this reading finds you in a more positive state, because you have a lot of good things coming this year. Or at least a more progressive and forward moving feeling now. You will start to see some big strides in some of your desires and financial leaps here. You'll start to see more structure, especially when the nodes move into your second and in your eighth house, Aries rising, because the North Node will be going into Taurus for you in your second house. And Uranus will be going direct on that same day. So you're going to now see and feel a big push towards things that are going to stabilize you in a financial sector, as well as the South Node of releasing a lot of your wounds and your traumas, and really working through some of the hidden components of your psychology that have been that are no longer going to serve you, that you need to discard and get rid of. And on a spiritual level, you're going to be starting to dig deep to see what is hindering you from your past, from your childhood, that is showing up so much in your day-to-day life. And on a more hidden, from you, because it's really hidden from you. You don't really see this. You have Pisces in your 12th. So the subconscious, anything of hidden, anything of spiritual, anything of that is in your subconscious. It's very much you're blindsided by it. You do not see these things. So with Jupiter highlighting this area for you, and Neptune sitting there in a little bit of, Neptune was bringing a lot of delusion for you for the last year to that the last year that Neptune's been sitting there in Pisces. It's been, I think, actually 6 months. I'm not sure. I don't think it's been that long as that Neptune's. I'd have to look, but Neptune hasn't been in Pisces that long. But since it's been there, it's been bringing you a lot of fantasies, a lot of delusions, a lot of maybe escapism in really not facing the things that you don't want to face, that you've been trying to hide from yourself. And a lot of it has to do with your personality, who you are, how you are observed by others, and how you show up in the world. Okay. In your 11th house, you've had Saturn sitting there. So your friendships have been disrupted again, like crazy. You in your close partnerships as well, but really your friendships. It's been more themed on friendships. And then the last 2 months, it's been themes with close partnerships, because Venus went retrograde, and this affects your second house in finances and your 7th house in partnerships. So maybe some money that you were working with others, that you were receiving on a collective level, has been disrupted. Maybe, you know, you're not getting along with the female people and female energies in your life, you know, mom and sister or grandma or wife, or maybe that's been disruptive. And so you have to go back and revise this now and look at what is meaningful to you. And even on a friend level, I feel like more so Aries rising, you're dealing with maybe losing a best friend over some financial matters or miscommunication. And, you know, Mercury's allowing you a chance now to go back and revitalize that and fix it and just smooth things out. And if this is the case, it might have been something in the end of December that was disrupted that caused you guys to not really, to have some type of hidden things that came out, because your 12th house is Aries. It's also your house of enemies. It's your house of hidden enemies. And Jupiter went into this house for you. So it might expand this area for you and really bring highlight to some of the deception with the people that you might have called your friends or best friends or close people to you, that now that the disruption is causing you to really go back and be like, are these people even my friend? Am I putting my trust and my energy into the wrong type of people? You're going to be really working through changing the type of people that you allow to be close to you, the people that you call your friends, you know, the people that you show up for as well, and that you decide to get close with in contractual things with. Okay. You know, because the nodes were in Sag and they were in Gemini for the last, you know, 18 years, or I can't even tell you how long, but the next 18 months is going to be about really working through this. I want to say 19 years was the last time that Gemini and Sag had their nodes there, or had the nodes were in Gemini and Sag. So we came to that new energy now, and in 19 years, it's shifting over into Scorpio and Taurus in your second and eighth house. But, you know, it was in your third and your ninth house for like local communication. And, you know, the South node was in Sag for like distant travels. So there might have been a lot of, you know, local travel, a lot of like, you know, basic education or basic learning, a lot of communicating with the people socially around you, close to you. And now it's going to move into, those areas were about learning. They were about learning and what you know and what you didn't know. And really like growing on that axis. And now it's moving into your financial sector and your resources with others sectors. So this is going to probably break some resources or just kind of cut the cords with people that you might have shared resources with now in order to develop a more healthy financial, you know, stability for you and structure, where you're not like having to utilize friends so much for money, because I feel like you've been kind of all over the place with borrowing money from people, friends, collectives, people on the internet, or just even getting into some contracts with friends, and they just you know, it's been just really limited, very, very restrictive for you, hasn't really gone anywhere. You know, the nodes of destiny are changing for you now, and this is going to highlight this area for you. It's also asking you to work on the area of life that so the north node is the direction of life you need to go to. It's like the extremes sometimes too, because it can really just highlight these areas for you. And for you Aries, it's like going to be a lot of extreme in the energy of like wanting more progression in your finances and more structure and stability. But the universe with the south node in Scorpio in the eighth house, it's going to be asking you to have a healthy balance between what is spiritually needed for you versus what you think you need, and your desires versus what you need. So need versus desires. This is the eighth house, second house axis. A lot of astrologers don't talk about this, but this is how I look at it. The second house is about desires. You know, a lot of people say Scorpio is about desires, but it's not. Scorpio is about psychological needs and truths and facts. Taurus is about desires on a material basis that you feel that you need to be structured and happy. However, sometimes you know, Taurus energy can be, you know, it's ruled by Venus. So it could be like over exalted, or you know, over wanting something and over desiring things, and Scorpio brings out the truth, like, no, you don't need that. So this is where you are going to be challenged spiritually and on earth level to really attach yourself more so to things that you need versus things that you don't really need, that you just desire, that you can go without at the, you know, for the moment. It's going to really, Aries rising, it's a really big shift into maturation for you. in developing a sense of self and a sense of tangible finances that will make you feel stable now and not have to have resources with others, like, because a lot of it was like utilizing others resources and merging with others resources in order to stay afloat for the last couple years. And the universe is like, no, Aries, you are cardinal, you are the boss, so you know how to go out there, get your shit, and not have to depend on nobody else. And it's going to force you to look at this on a realistic scale, and it's going to help you materialize this stuff. So it's actually some good energy for you. Just don't fight against it, go with the flow of it, because it is restricting right now. It's a tight square, Uranus and Saturn in your second and your 11th house. So right now finances are already all of like just restricted and limited, and or even feeling like you have to discipline yourself a little bit more, especially when it comes to your friends, because it's hitting again the community and the collective community in your house of friends. And this is the house of hopes, dreams, and aspirations. So also learning to lean more on yourself and your friends to develop your goals and your dreams, because you don't need anybody else to get your stuff going for you, Aries. Now, yes, don't get me wrong, it's good to work with people. This is your axes, your first and seventh house. This is going to teach you how to work with people in a more healthy way, where you're not people pleasing, okay? Because your seventh house is in Libra. You tend to be people please too much. And it's not serving you. So Mars is in your ninth house in Sag, and it's going to move into your 10th house where you have Cap in. So, career could have been just really crazy for you lately. The sun is highlighting your career sector. So we know that something in your career sector in this month is major. With Venus in retrograde, it's almost making it like iffy with your income, because Venus rules money. So maybe there's like some some of you might have got demoted. Some of you might have lost some type of income. Some of you have been maybe a partnership or a contract fell through, or something just did not materialize for you. But at the end of the month, January 29th, when Venus goes direct, it should change this energy for you, or even revamp itself, or work it out, whatever it is that you were starting in your career front, and your work. Okay. Virgo is in your sixth house. So, you guys have a very, very structured way of doing routines for when it comes to work, and your habits. However, it's also a good time with Mercury going in retrograde, it's a good time for you to look at your sixth house in Virgo and really work through maybe some ways your health could be being affected, like your mental health. With work, maybe you're working too hard to try to attain something and you're working yourself into exhaustion, Aries. So Virgo wants you to take a step back and maybe revamp your habits, your routines, and disregard what's not serving you, because there's so many things that you have in your energy, Aries, that are not serving you right now, that is just weighing you down. This is the whole point of the nodal axis moving into your second, your eighth house of money and finances and resources and other people's money. Maybe it's people. I'm going to say that there's some friends that are around you that are toxic, that are not good for you to keep around anymore, and the universe is going to force you to let them go, especially close partnerships. It could even be I'm going to say romantic relationship, because Venus is in retrograde and it's conjunct. It's not conjunct, but it's very close to Pluto, and it'll be conjunct soon. And when it does, it's going to, again, transform your relationships. It's going to end some. So it's also going to end some of your ties to money and some of your ties to material needs. And not in a bad way. It's going to do this in a way that it's going to allow you to have doors open that you need to be more structured and stable. Because sometimes we think we need stuff and we have to have it, and we are missing the blind spot, not understanding that those things that we have are actually blocking our blessings. So Aries, there's a lot of things here with money, shared resources, and how you go about your day-to-day ways of making money that is actually limiting you, that you need to let go. And it's affecting your mental health on a spiritual and on a 3D level. Your mind is very nervous. Your conscious mind is extremely nervous. It's very, very like perfectionist type of conscious mind. It's almost compulsion. It's like you've got to get things a certain way. And your Pisces, your spiritual world is suffering. Jupiter is there showing you this as it's expanded, the Neptune energy, that deception that you keep trying to hide from yourself, of the fact that you need to work on some of your, your mental health and your physical health, as well as letting go of people that are toxic to you, so that you you can develop some more healthy ways of producing finances into your life. This is highlighting again your 10th house. So there's a lot of change around your career here. There's a lot of transformation in your pay. There's a lot of transformation and possibly transformation in work. Aries, a lot of you are going to give up your job that you have and change into something else. I'm going to tell you right now. That's that tension you're feeling with that Uranus and Saturn square, because it's almost like you've probably made friends in your job, or you probably have contracts and connections that have a lot to do with money with your job or something. And these people you've made friends with, and you feel like if you bail out now, you're going to make enemies. And with Jupiter expanding in your 12th house and ingressing into your 12th house, it might expand hidden enemies and they might come out. But it even if it might seem like a little bit deceptive at the moment, it is really just to help you let go of toxicity that is not serving you, okay? And people that are not helping you to grow. So Aries, I was excited to do this one because of how much change and transition you guys are facing in this month. And how heavy this energy might feel for you guys. But just know that when we move to the end of the month and Venus goes direct, and then the first week of February, Mercury goes direct, you're going to have some clarity. And with friendships, you're going to have some clarity with, your career. And you're going to have some clarity in your finance sector, and it will help you with your partnerships and how you feel about yourself, okay, and how you show up for others, and how you can better create boundaries to not give so much and please everybody else, where you're like limiting yourself from attaining your things, okay? Just like Taurus, the reading before you guys was Taurus, and they had a lot of that going on too in their partnership house. They were just going above and beyond for others in the last 2 or 3 years, and they haven't been really trying, like, not that they haven't been trying, because they've been trying to really work on themselves just like you guys, but there's a time where we have to mature in life and really face the music and really look at some of our choices, is this choice with this person or that person or this situation or that, are these really things that I might have manifested on my own? And am I the one that's been limiting myself this whole time and I'm projecting it out onto other people? Because Aries, there's a lot of projection energy here. There's a lot of blaming friends or the community. It's also feeling really restrictive. Aries, you do not want to feel limited and restricted. And, the COVID nonsense, all of that for the last 2 years has probably been making you feel really closed in and like you cannot work your magic. But this is going to open a window for you. So January might be intense. February, when I do your reading, we'll get more deep into that. February is going to be a little bit tense still too. And March will start to get better. By the time we get to May, the energy for you guys is going to be amazing. And Jupiter in May will enter into your first house. So you're going to see some blessings and some expansions after May for a little bit there. And I would really use this energy in May to really create a whole new persona for yourself, to really just be positive so that positive manifestations can happen for you. But please, 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 Aries, with Virgo in your 6th, and Jupiter in your 12th at the moment, this could definitely cause some overeating. And when Pisces enters into your first house, it can cause some weight gain. So please don't stress eat, because this is what I see for Aries people. Lots of stress eating to escape. I know that's crazy, but Virgo does rule health, and Jupiter does expand anything it touches, and in the subconscious mind and across from the house of health, you could probably eat to unstress or something, or there might be something that you can compulsively do or expand on that you need to watch for that, because when Jupiter hits into your first house, it could really like show on your persona. But other than that, Jupiter's about blessings. Anytime Jupiter also transits your first house, you guys, it can expand anything on the body. So not just like on a health level or weight gain level, but it can expand, it can bring you a baby. So, be careful, Aries, if you're not trying to have a kid, because sometime around May, this is potentially a theme. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen. So, but nonetheless, you guys, Aries rising, sun and moon, I hope this resonates. If it doesn't, please check your other placements. But if that might resonate a little bit more. And if this does not resonate at all and you want to do a more personalized reading, make sure you have your time of birth and book with me at my website at spiritcoachingastrology.com. The link is in the description box below. Like I said, they're personalized to whatever it is that you want me to look at. Please do keep in mind that I am like a month or two behind, or booked out. I'm not gonna say behind because I work diligently, but because I do run this website, I am going to be starting a podcast. I'm going to have a Patreon channel soon. I am developing a lot of things. I'm working with someone else for a child astrology book. I have a lot of things I'm developing and working at now, and I also have a day job and I'm in school. So if I can't come, to your request as quickly as you want me to, if I'm not answering demands on inboxes or any of that, it is because I am overworked. I'm working. I am one person army here, and I need you guys to have patience. So other than that, please book with me if you feel free, if you would like a reading from me or not. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you can get more notifications when I do post your monthly readings. And please come back and be with me in February 2022 for your Aries reading. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys and your support.